Welcome to another Extra Butter at Home. You know, it's not a fast track from the Will Ferrell comedy Talladega Nights to the Tom Hanks war film Greyhound, but one of its most dynamic cast members did exactly that. He'll be joining us. Also, move over, Avengers. Get out of the way, Justice League. The best comic product right now is on your screens, maybe in your hands. Doom Patrol making the rounds to see us. Also, it's more rare than a unicorn. A movie critic that the stars like. Leo DiCaprio and others gather around to celebrate a favorite movie critic as he reaches a milestone. That and more on this special edition of Extra Butter. Hey, what's going on, you guys? You may have noticed like I bounded to set, and by set I mean my house, because I'm stuck here like you're stuck wherever you are. A little more energy than usual because I'm excited because we have a very special guest on today's show. And we don't get many guests around these parts right here. All right, you know, in this time when the world's going through heavy things, I've always found the greatest escape is a movie, and even better if that movie happens to be about a time where things were equally difficult and scary. That point, Greyhound, Tom Hanks' new epic war movie, is now going to be yours, courtesy of Apple TV+. One of its stars I happen to have a connection to, and that's why he's co-hosting right about now. Mr. Grayson Russell, what's going on, sir? So the way we know each other, we'll get to in just a minute. In the meantime, if you don't mind, since you're here right now, yes, we will get to Greyhound, but do you mind? And I know you're a humble guy, and you're probably gonna hate the next few minutes, but we're gonna do Grayson Russell, This Is Your Life. Is that okay?
That's just fine.
This guy, despite his youthful age, has been in some of the most memorable moments in some of my favorite films of all time, and he's stuck chatting about those moments right now. And I'm sure you get this when you're stuck on planes next to people who go, Talladega Nights, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about being Mr. Texas Ranger. What do you remember from the days on the set with Will Ferrell?
Here we are sitting at this dinner table in Charlotte, North Carolina, surrounded by Ted Manson and Leslie Bibb and Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. And then, of course, you know, Adam McKay is yelling all kinds of crazy stuff. You say, we might have done 2 takes by the script, maybe on a good day. The rest was all wild lines. It was all Will, you know, telling me something to say, or Adam telling me something to say. So, you know, I'm going to come at you like a spider monkey. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. All that was just random. That was not, none of that was scripted at all. I had very few lines in that entire sequence, and that's the one that most people would remember Texas Ranger from.
Chip, I'm going to come at you like a spider monkey.
Like a spider monkey! Go on!
Chip, you brought this on, man.
Chip, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I love that.
Years old, I've got loads of pizza and Taco Bell and everything else there, so I'm just going to town and just yelling whatever they want me to. It's like, all right, sounds like a plan. I'm going to sit here in my leather Powerade jacket and eat.
That is awesome. We got to move on because I have more movies to talk about. But before we move on, have you ever met Chuck Norris?
No, I have not. I would love to, though. That would be awesome.
I know where he vacations, so it's my goal to get the two of you together. That would be the photo seen around the world, the two of you together. All right, so another movie that's near and dear to my heart for 2 reasons. One, Fragley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid looks exactly like my best friend when I was that age. Hi, Philip Boschert. Hope you're watching somewhere. Denver, Colorado. Shout out. And also, my kids were age appropriate to grow up with this movie, and you've met my kids, and they were geeked out about it. What do you remember from these days?
Yeah, that was with some of the greatest people that I've had the pleasure of knowing. And that was the thing. We were all kids, and we had never worked out of the country before. But we were all super close, and we still are. And we have a blast every time we get together.
For those who don't remember the comedy stylings, and keep in mind, this is a kid creating this character part all on his own, it looked like this.
Sorry, I chased you with a booger on my finger. I put it on this paper so you can get me back.
I'll save that for later.
Okay, so fast forward, you're becoming an adolescent actor now, and my producing partner, Howard Bird, puts you alongside Julia Roberts, Jennifer Aniston in Mother's Day, and then he and I start making a movie together. It was my first movie. It was Apparition, and you waltzed into a role that I had a part in writing, that of Sam. I got to show you one of my favorite scenes in the movie that was shot as a oneer. I think we did maybe 2 takes of this. I mean, we used the first take. It was so beautiful. It's Mina Savari, plot spoil. Annalisa Cochran, who you might know from Karate Kid, Cobra Kai, and a lot of other stuff, and you as Sam when we see our first apparition in the movie Apparition. Take a look.
The guys better hurry. They don't want to miss this. Hey, I think it's saying go straight.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you sure that's what she wants you to see?
Skylar! What's wrong? What is it?
Sam. Oh, Jesus.
Please, say something.
How high can you get off secondhand smoke?
Mary?
Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
All right, I just gave people one of my favorite scenes in the movie, but yeah, again, you are one of my favorite parts. There are people that have come up to me afterwards that said, my favorite part of the movie is when Sam goes, why do you have a bat? Plot spoiling a little bit. Let's move on to bigger and better things. Now you are alongside Tom Hanks in a movie that everybody is talking about. No doubt Sony would have put this on a big screen, but because of the times we're in, the best way to get it out is Apple TV+. Everybody's going to be talking about this movie. What do you remember?
Gosh, I remember how just blown away in general I was. Okay, here we are. We're in Baton Rouge. We're on a gimbaled set, so it's basically a big hydraulic motor.
Sure.
Set's moving under you because it's a replica of the USS Kidd. I'm wearing a helmet that was made for World War II in 1941. All authentic gear. Screaming at Tom Hanks, Tom screaming at me. Easily one of the greatest memories probably I will ever have. I loved every minute of it.
And it looks just remarkable. You know, Tom Hanks has Northern California roots. I've crossed his paths many a times. I had a chance to talk to him one time to confirm a rumor I heard about his very first acting gig. I want you to take a stab at it. When Tom Hanks was your age, and he got his first professional acting job, Mr. Grayson Russell, what do you think it was?
I know he did an episode of The Love Boat early on. Was that it? Was that the one?
Here's what it was. Take a look. First, I want to get one quick rumor out of the way before we get to the movie. Did you actually play Santa Claus at one point for a living? Were you Santa Claus?
Man,
in
I
a department
was,
store?
yeah. Not in a department store. It was, and I can't even remember it was at one of the older shopping centers that's out in like North Sacramento. I can't even remember the name of it now. But yeah, I was.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
There you go, Santa Claus. What was your first? I guess your first professional role was Talladega Nights.
Yeah, but I mean, more or less, I had done some small commercial work, but the guy who was over that would use like the local varsity cheer squad, so that wasn't much. Wow.
Grayson, I thank you so much for your time today. I really liked working alongside you. You are a gentleman, a great human being, and a great actor. And the men and women watching on AFN right now all over the world protecting the United States, you want to give a shout out to them?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Thank y'all for all that you do, allowing us to keep hanging out here and having a wonderful time. And we appreciate you, and our prayers and hopes are with you during all this craziness, domestic and abroad. Thank you very much for everything that you do.
Hey, thank you, Grayson Russell. Tom Hanks, Grayson Russell, Greyhound on Apple TV+. Good to hang out with you.
Yes, sir. Likewise.
All right, when we come back, Steve Carell joining us to talk about his new movie, Irresistible, and the lovely and talented Rose Byrne as Extra Butter continues. Don't move. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. Hope your summer is going awesome. And by that I mean I hope you're staying cool. Unless you want to be outside doing something hot in the hot summertime, whatever floats your boat. I hope you're doing a great thing this summer, the best you can, and keeping it safe. I've already washed my hands 30 times already, and we're barely into segment number 2. All right, if you're going to watch a movie, might I suggest this, Irresistible. As we've said on the show before it even came out, the script is brilliant. Written by Jon Stewart. The movie is directed by Jon Stewart. Yes, Steve Carell crushes it in this movie, but his co-stars, no slouches. Academy Award winner Chris Cooper in this movie. You've got Mackenzie Davis, best known as the most recent Terminator, and Rose Byrne. Despite being known as a classically trained actress, she's most famous for her comedies like Bridesmaid. I talked to her about this. Hey, congratulations on the movie. It's exactly what the world needs right now. It is so funny, but at the same time, really important to talk about the first moment you heard about it and how it came to be for you.
John reached out and just pitched it to me and talked about Steve and what the characters and what he was inspired by and his take on sort of this lampooning of the whole process of someone being elected. And I was like, I'm so excited. I'm so nervous. Please, can I do this? So it was awesome. It was a very fun shoot. It was a quick shoot. We didn't have much time. And it was a fun character, you know. She's such a political animal. She truly lives for the fight, and she's so ruthless and kind of likes the blood on her hands. You know, she's, you know, in a way quite genuine, I think.
I highly recommend it. A huge ending plot twist. What is it? I'm not going to wreck it for you here. All right, when we come back on Extra Butter, I know it's a movie show, but we're going to be talking about Doom Patrol. DC Comics is giving you the absolute best superhero product right now. And no, it's not a movie, which is why we're talking about a series as Extra Butter continues. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter from home, and by that I mean my home, and I hope you're hanging out in your home, being as safe as you can be. Look, I'll let you in on a little secret. This is a movie show. It's won Emmy Awards for talking about movies, which is why my room's surrounded with movie posters, not TV series posters. But in these times, everything on your screen is up for grabs, and I'm so geeked out about Doom Patrol. What? You haven't heard of Doom Patrol? Or maybe you're saying, yeah, heck yeah, Doom Patrol. I love Doom Patrol. You should love Doom Patrol. Let me tell you why. This is the absolute best superhero product on any screen right now. And the cast is awesome. Specifically right now, I want to talk about Joivan Wade. He plays Cyborg. And then over here, Diane, you probably know her from Orange is the New Black. They are part of an ensemble all-star cast, and they're joining me from the UK right now. I know it's super early for you guys, but I thank you so much for hanging out, and I'm so geeked out to discover the show and to talk to you right now.
Thank you. It's an honor to be talking to you too.
All right, so like I said, I'm a late bloomer for season 1. Were you shocked by the amazing success of this series?
I think you have to, there's an element of surprise always. I think that for me personally, when I read the scripts and, you know, read the comics and saw the world that we were going to be discovering and going to be building into, I couldn't help but believe that it was a world in which was going to take to fans and something in which, you know, hasn't really been done before and hasn't been seen before. And so you had your expectation, and we're constantly on set like, yo, can you believe how wild this is? This is going to be great. But it always exceeds expectation when, you know, it's so critically regarded, and the fans love it as much as they do.
To be honest, I really wasn't, ever moved by any superhero stories thus far. But I've been and continue to be impressed by the writers and just how deep the story goes for a superhero story. We now know that this is unlike any other superhero story, and that's why I enjoy being a part of it so much, and that's why I think it's enjoyed by so many.
Yeah, absolutely. It's why I jump aboard so enthusiastically. So, Crazy Jane, we got to talk about this character. Diane, will you ever have a character better than this?
It does get a little unstable up there sometimes for me, as I try to follow Jane on her ride. But I'm extremely grateful. I think that I can. I've proven to myself so much throughout these 2 years, and I'd like to continue taking on that challenge.
Well, it's the middle of the night for you guys. I'm so grateful for you for hanging out with me, and congratulations on everything. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Joivan and Diane, stars of Doom Patrol. If you haven't, you need to check it out. All new season in progress right now on the DC Universe. All right, when we come back on Extra Butter, I get to celebrate one of my friends as he celebrates a huge milestone in the movie critic world. Shawn Edwards talks about Leo DiCaprio and other legends of film that he's crossed paths with. Why? He'll explain as Extra Butter continues. And welcome back to the final fleeting moments of this Extra Butter at home. Still hanging at home. By the way, an update. I've washed my hands 57 times now, just to make sure that I'm not going to infect you through this broadcast you're watching right now. Speaking of which, how are you watching? If not on YouTube, jump on YouTube. Make sure that you like and subscribe. And shout out again to all the men and women all over the world watching on AFN. All right, you may have seen this guy behind me. Not just this time, but on many episodes of Extra Butter, and before that, Mark at the Movies. He is one of my dearest friends and colleagues. He is one of America, dare I say, the world's best movie critics. He is Shawn Edwards, and his career turns 20 years old this week. Shawn Edwards, what up?
Man, I'm getting old. 20 years. It went by fast.
I wanted to say I have not been hanging out with you for those 20 years, but truth be told, yeah, all 20 of them and some change. Congratulations on your success, my friends. We have read your reviews and blurbs in Rolling Stone magazine, LA Times, New York Times. Your home is and always Kansas City, but you're also an LA movie producer. How does that number 20 feel?
You know what? It actually feels great, man, because you know what? It equals survival. I've survived this business for 20 years.
You sit on the board of directors of an organization that I co-founded, the Broadcast Film Critics Association, now known as the Critics' Choice. And you were among the first that said, look, we are a relatively new organization compared to the Motion Picture Academy. There is no excuse for us to have lack of diversity, and talk about all of the steps and all of the subcategories of our organization that you created.
Yeah, the organization, the Critics' Choice Association, you know, you guys, you helped create that thing back in the day, but you guys have always been on the forefront of inclusion and diversity. I mean, when there were like Black film critics and Asian film critics and Hispanic film critics out there, the door was always open, and the door remains open. So I commend the organization for that. They just didn't jump on board like a couple of weeks ago, like a lot of other groups and organizations. They've always been in the forefront, and we've always kind of created some programming that's catered to that. I mean, the Celebration of Black Film idea, which I helped sort of create, you know, with the help of the organization, started back in 2014. So we've sort of been on the forefront, you know, and then, you know, with our awards, we've never had a situation like Oscars so white. So, you know, our winners have always been diverse, and that's because of the membership. You know, if there were film critics out there that were working and had different types of background, they were afforded the opportunity to join the organization as long as they were credible. And I'm glad we were able to do that. And do that without making a fuss about it. That's the cool thing about it. You know, we haven't tried to force it. You know, we haven't tried to like make up ground. We've just been a part of the natural zeitgeist.
Because it's the right thing. I said for your 20 years, I said, Shawn, dust off something for your 20 years. And I guess we're going to tie into the fact that Tenet has been pushed yet again, but you were there for Inception. Let's talk about that.
Oh my goodness, man. You got to remember, back in the day, like no one had seen Inception. Christopher Nolan, his rep was just beginning to grow. And that was like one of the most anticipated movies in my entire career. So to get an opportunity to sit down with the entire cast and the director, Christopher Nolan, was something special. And of course, anytime you get a chance to holler at my main man, Leonardo DiCaprio, man, you cannot go wrong. He's one of my favorite people to talk to when the camera's on and when the camera's off. So I guess you pulled a clip where the camera was actually on, right?
When you get to work with a visionary like Christopher Nolan, what does it do to you as a professional actor?
It really makes everything easier as an actor, because when you know that somebody has pulled off, you know, multi-dimensional plots like this and made it digestible for an audience and made an audience feel like they not only understood what was going on, but they were emotionally driven by the characters, you feel like this guy's got a great track record of pulling off high concepts like this.
Dreams feel real while we're in them. It's only when we wake up that we realize something is actually strange.
But when you do something as complex as this movie, how much pressure does that put on you to make sure that you execute it properly?
Less pressure, to be honest. I mean, less pressure, because we expected the unexpected with him. I mean, we knew he was biting off a lot here, and a lot was riding on this film from this. Is something that had been stirring around in his mind for 8 years. I mean, it took him 8 years to really come up with this concept. And you can see that in the movie. You can see there was a tremendous amount of thought put into it.
Yeah, I have him just sort of indicating, and then he's got to kind of come here to tip them.
Do you have like a dream list of directors that you want to work with, and you kind of circle them off as you work with each one, or do you just accept who comes to you with the project?
I do have those dream directors, absolutely. I've gotten to work with quite a few of them. I've been very fortunate, and it depends on you know, the project as well. You know, you read a script, and a lot of times, you know, a director will have a great pitch and tell you all their thoughts, and tell you what they're going to try to execute film-wise, and you know, rarely do they pull that off to the magnitude that they advertise.
Man, That's a super cool interview. And as you're interviewing Leo DiCaprio all those years ago, are you thinking, I'm actually going to glean off of what he's saying because someday I'm going to be a filmmaker?
Yeah, I mean, that's why, you know what, I love talking to a lot of actors, especially actors of his caliber, because there's something in common with actors that are exceptional at their craft. They're usually the ones who want to go on and jump behind the camera. I remember talking to Ben Affleck when he decided to become a director. I remember talking to Denzel Washington when he decided to become a director. I remember talking to like Reese Witherspoon when she decided to become a producer, and Sandra Bullock when she said, look, I'm going to start just producing my own stuff. I love talking to like these A-list talent that have other ambitions other than just acting. And I've had a chance to be a part of the conversation before they actually did it. Then I had a chance to be a part of the conversation after they've done it. And that's the most fantastic part of my job, is actually talking to these people and watching them grow themselves. That's been the coolest part of the whole 20 years. I love the behind the scenes, and I've gotten a chance to learn, and I'm still learning thanks to Deion Taylor and thanks to you, man. You've been killing it, man. I've learned so much from you.
You bring a unique voice. You lean into the entertainment value. You also consider the audience of the movie, and you're just a gift to the film world, and I'm so grateful to be your friend, man.
Oh, man, I love you to death, man. I'm glad we've been friends for all these 20 years, man. You've always been a stand-up guy, man, and you're extremely talented, man. You've been killing the game for so long, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. A lot of stuff you do, I've mimicked so I could, get better at what I do. And 100% thanks to Fox 4 News in Kansas City. None of anything of what I've done would have happened without their support.
Oh, look, the credits are rolling. And on this show, that's kind of like when they start playing the music on the Academy Awards. So, Shawn, I'm going to give you the last moments. Give the world a positive message right now.
Yo, stay healthy, be safe. It's going to get better. Let's do it.